It's understandable why people might be worried about what this would be like if they're not there. Will everything fall apart? Will I really lose everything? And in a way, you really do. But in a way, I can also say nothing really changes. So it really does seem like a biological sort of switch or happening where the brain no longer is taking ownership of everything, you know? It's no longer taking ownership of everything that the body says, does, thinks, feels. It's just what's happening. Um, but it seems like there's some sort of switch in the brain or something like that where the sense that I am in control, that goes, whether it be spontaneously or it takes some apparent time. Lee is cold. Um, it depends, but so that's all that changes. Um, but while that's happening energetically, there is a shift in the body. Energetically, it loses the personal energy, personal attachments, desires, needs, wants, meaning, purpose, value, importance in everything. So it does energetically feel like a personal death. Energetically, something is leaving the body. The body is being emptied out of these personal things that I find important, that I care about a lot, are meaningful to me. Um, so in a way, that is a massive change, but like that was never solid, real, or the truth. That was all made up to begin with, but it feels absolutely real when it's there and when it's being lost, when it feels like I'm losing it. So it's not that I actually lose it, but the sense of the loss is the me, is the attachment or the desire or the want or the longing or the seeking is me, is time, is the energetic sense of time, is the solid space, like I am really here and separate from everything else. This is the solid vantage point that everything is seemingly happening because I have a relation to everything. So it kind of like it makes sense, or it validates that I am really here, that this is my perspective, this is my position. So through that transition, yeah, it feels like something is happening, something's being lost, and it can be really difficult for the body to go through that. So, and I enjoy talking about that because not too many people seem to be expressing it openly. But after that, even though there is no after, nothing's happening. But so-called after the death of this dream, this amazing effect of me and my life, um, when enough of that dissolves, it seems like mainly the care about what I had and what was important to me, that care goes. So in a way, it almost doesn't even matter what's appearing. Of course, oh my god, it's like so windy today. So, uh, okay. So of course, um, sorry. Ugh. Um, so of course there's still a preference. There's still general care and love for, let's say, uh, my parents. But they aren't my parents anymore. But there's still love for them. There's still care for them. But underlying that, there's there's pure life. There's expansive, vast, edgeless life. And then care appears. And so when it doesn't belong to anyone, when it doesn't mean anything to anyone, when no one is there to care, things are just happening and unfolding, and in a way, really, life is taking care of itself because there is only life. Life is the only thing that is seemingly happening and unfolding. It is not my life. It is not my projected expectations of how this should unfold, how this relationship should be, how I need and want this relationship to be. So that's the same with like everything. Everything that the person was in relation to. The care about my desired outcome of it is gone. So everything is okay. And then ironically, sometimes you can say that it actually turns out pretty amazingly on its own. Again, that depends. It depends on obviously the life circumstances, and yeah, so I can't speak for everyone. Sometimes life just still sucks. And but I feel like this could be a pretty amazing fresh start in a way. It's very different because you're no longer living in time. Like energetically, you're no longer able to say, this is what I'm gonna definitely do in the future and this is my goal, because it just can't maintain or sustain itself in any solid, real way like the person was able to, seemingly, magically. So no matter what happens, it's okay. That doesn't mean I won't be extremely sad and I wouldn't mourn the death of a certain body. Um, Everything is so free to be and express, and this body is so free to be the way it is. And I feel like that's the true freedom. You know, there isn't like a care about what other people think, but there's still gratitude when someone is appreciative of what's being spoken, what's being shared. I think what I'm saying is that there, in a way, there's nothing to worry about. The body takes care of itself. And again, I won't deny, like, when this energetic transition happens in the body, sometimes it can be a little alarming because um, it's such new territory and the energy is shifting so much. It could shift quite often during that period. Oh my god. I'm not saying it's easy, especially during that time. Um, but in the so-called end, there's no end, but in the whole disappearance of that effect or illusion, ah, everything's okay. It's really hard to mentally explain or describe what this is like anymore because there's no solidity or real reality anywhere anymore. You can't really grab onto any idea or anything. And then the body just naturally does. Ugh. For example, like, my love of art just kind of went away, but like expression still happens, and it's nice. Um, I would say there's quite a bit of fun and you could say creativity or something, but like it's not really interpreted that way. It just happens the way it wants to happen. There's no forcing it to be a certain way. Overall, the programming of this body didn't change that much. Like, it's not a totally different character, if you know what I'm saying. But there is the potential of the added layers of things, of ways of being, or this is bad, this is good. Like, it all just softens and melts, and nothing's a problem. Nothing's like held on to as like, oh, I need to fix this and change this. It's more like a relaxed, go with the flow, effortless. It will change in its own time if it needs to sort of feel. Because no one is in control in here. No one is able to manipulate. No one is here. So no one is doing anything. The body is just doing. The body's thinking, the body's feeling, the body's doing, it's speaking. I don't know what I'm saying. Nothing's really being said. It's so cold. And I think I have to stop this video.